The New Mutants is just one of those movies that never stood a fucking chance. From the first trailer, people were shitting all over this movie. I personally wasn't against it. I figured a story set in the X-Men universe with teenage mutants in a creepy mansion with elements of horror. I mean, it could be something unique, so I kept an open mind about it. Then it just experienced so many delays. For those that don't know, this movie was originally filmed in 2017. There were reshoots, or maybe not, depending on who you talk to. And then the Disney infestation happened, and it just deteriorated 20th Century Fox into nothing, killing creativity even further. And you know once Disney got involved, they were not going to back it financially. So they just shoved it out finally in the middle of a pandemic when pretty much no one is going to the movie theaters to begin with. I guess hoping to squeeze what little bit of money they could out of the box office. It's been tough sledding for this Josh Boone movie. This is technically the 13th entry in what was the Fox X-Men movie franchise. A franchise that I would actually argue had more good than bad. Unpopular opinion, I know, but that's what makes me unique. Unfortunately, between Dark Phoenix and this, the franchise is kind of going out with a whimper, and almighty Disney didn't do it any favors. In fact, when I reviewed Dark Phoenix, I remember specifically talking about how Disney sabotaged that movie. Possibly this one too. All in an effort to make Fox's X-Men universe just look incompetent so people aren't upset when they reboot it. But hey, at least they own Predator and Die Hard now. New Mutants follows a group of young mutants as they're held in a facility that isn't exactly what it seems. I will say this, the inclusion of the Essex Company in this movie would have excited me back in the day, but because I know it's going nowhere, I really didn't give a shit. Just thinking about what could have been with Mr. Sinister. The teenagers initially think they're being prepped to be X-Men, but they come to realize that they're actually being prepped as weapons or killers. The horror element isn't as predominant as the original trailer made it look. There are some horror-esque moments, and they do seem to take a little bit of inspiration from it. There are these visions that basically haunt the teenagers, and it reminds them of the worst moments in their lives up until this point. No spoilers, but the smiley guys are kind of cool and creepy. CGI is not the best, but the idea is there. And I will say the last act, the final boss fight, is pretty entertaining for what it is. The character of Ileana, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, I thought she was cool visually when she was using her mutant powers. The problem with her and pretty much all the characters in this movie is they just aren't that interesting. Blue Hunt plays Moonstar, pretty much the main character in this story. While the actress herself is likable, the character is kind of dry to me. Maisie Williams' character was dull. Charlie Heaton's character was boring. Henry Zaga's character is cliche. Well, they pretty much all are, actually. And the villain, played by Alice Braga, wasn't very menacing to me. I guess she's not really supposed to be because she's kind of pretending to be something she's not. She's pretending to help them. But once her true intentions are discovered, she's kind of defeated quickly and unceremoniously, so it really doesn't matter anyway. The plot is really thin. There's pretty much no motivations for any of the characters to do anything. In fact, most of the time I was just kind of sitting there wondering where this was all going and wondering what the point was. Like, I think there could be a good movie in this idea somewhere. It's just the execution of it was just so uninspiring. Or maybe it was just the writing, or the acting, or the direction, or I don't know, pretty much all of it. You could tell they were trying to set these characters up to kind of lead their own franchise. If that was the goal, though, they didn't do a good enough job of establishing these characters to make you want to see them more. Maybe subconsciously they just knew there was never going to be another movie, so they really just didn't give a shit. It shows in the material. Overall, it's got some cool visual moments, but there's nothing really interesting story-wise to speak of. And I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity considering the premise, which could have been cool in the right hands, and with the right tone. But unfortunately, I cannot recommend this movie. I technically saw it for free and still think it was kind of a waste of time, so from now on we'll just say the X-Men universe ended with Logan, because that was phenomenal. At least until Disney reboots it and turns it into a comedy. Yay! So did you see New Mutants? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.